Well, friends, good evening. It's so wonderful to be with you. And again, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. It's so good to be together. Just want to say a word of welcome to any of you who are visiting from out of town. Raise your hand if you're visiting from somewhere else. Okay, we got a few visitors. Welcome to St. Bartholomew. My name is Father Patrick Schultz. I am the new administrator here. I was assigned back here in June, and it's been a joy this whole time. I gotta tell you, it's so wonderful to be with you tonight. This first Christmas here as the administrator at St. Bart's. So, friends, tonight on this Christmas Eve, I'm fully convinced that the Lord wants to speak to us. He wants to move on our hearts and our minds. He wants to communicate something incredible to us. Like, we're being invited into the depths. This is the heart of the mystery, this celebration tonight, the mystery of the Lord's nativity, the incarnation. Like, what if it's the case? What if it's the case that you allowed God to really touch your heart tonight? Like, what if this night, this Mass, this year, this Christmas, this was the place where the Lord who crossed the infinite gulf of time and space, where the Lord actually came and changed your life irrevocably forever. Like, he can do that. That's the kind of God that we have. One of the very first things that Jesus says in the Gospel of John, one of the very first questions he asks to humanity in John's Gospel is, what are you looking for? What are you seeking? What are you desiring? Like, I'm seeking that this would be a transformed parish, hearts burning and alive with God's love. They ask Jesus the question, Master, where are you staying? And he says to them, this is the very first thing he says, come and become one who sees. Come and become one who sees. Most of us, I'm convinced of this, most of us don't really see what's happening tonight. Yeah, we see Mary, we see Joseph, we see the baby Jesus, the shepherds, all of it. We see it in the manger surrounded by the animals. Yeah, we know the story, but I don't think we really see what's happening here. I want us to see that. I want us to be invited into the depths to see this. And what is it that we're being invited to see? What are we meant to see? In a word, that all of this, it's all this unbelievable love story. Like, the entire Bible, it's telling this grand rescue mission that is a love story. That's the heart of the gospel. And I know it's easy to miss tonight with all of these readings. But these readings, they're all of them trying to tell us that story. Even, yes, this gospel that we just had with all of those names, you suffered it very well. I was very impressed. Right? Zerubbabel, Abiud, Abijah, Aminadab. I mean, there's not a lot of Aminadabs walking around today. I don't know if anybody's pregnant here tonight. You're thinking about a name? I don't know. It could be Aminadab. I don't know. Zerubbabel, Abijah. Anyway, that's the sign you've been looking for right there. Anyway, okay, but seriously, yes, this gospel, this brutally difficult tongue twister of a gospel, this gospel is telling that story. I mean, for what is this gospel? What is it communicating? Think about it. It's the long history of love and relationships going back generations, marriages, spousal union, the begetting of children. Sure, some of these relationships, some of these begettings were less than ideal, right? Matthew doesn't sugarcoat. He says David became the father of Solomon, whose mother had been the wife of Uriah. That's like Jerry Springer stuff right there. It's like, snap. He's not pulling punches. But all of these generations, all of these begettings, they all gesture at, it's all bespeaking the mystery of our humanity, our masculinity and femininity, all of this stuff, our capacity, this God-given capacity for God to turn marital love into life, right? For the one flesh union, for God to bring forth new life into this world. That's what all of this is. Like, all of these generations that lead up to Jesus, it all points to this mystery of deep love, spousal union. Right? Or go back to that very first reading we heard also, right, from Isaiah. You shall be a glorious crown in the hand of the Lord, a royal diadem held by your God. No more shall people call you forsaken or your land desolate. Listen. But you shall be called my delight. This is the Lord speaking. And your land espoused, for the Lord delights in you and makes your land his spouse. As a young man marries a virgin, your builder shall marry you. And as a bridegroom rejoices in his bride, so shall your God rejoice in you. What is Isaiah talking about? He's this notion that Christianity, it is God's marriage proposal to the human soul. Like, here it is. Listen, the stunning proposal at the heart of the gospel is that there is a stunning proposal at the heart of the gospel. That's the heart of it. Your builders shall marry you. Because everything that Isaiah could only dream about actually came true. Like, why all of this talk about marriage, all this talk about unions and spousal love and begetting and being begotten? Because Christmas is the wedding of heaven and earth. That's what's happening. Because our story is a love story that stretches all the way back to the beginning of time, and it's brought to fulfillment at the end of time. Like, our culture knows this, by the way, right? Our culture is aware of this connection between Christmas and romance. Tell me I'm not the only one who's noticed this, right? You don't have to raise your hand, but the Hallmark Channel, okay, listen. 53 new movies came out this year from the Hallmark Channel, the Christmas Hallmark movies. And I can't be the only person who recognizes it's the same movie. With the same plot and the same B-list actors, right? The same guy who's the hotshot lawyer in the one movie, he's the Christmas tree farmer in the next movie, and it's the girl from Full House who's in all of them, right? It's the same plot. It's the same thing, right? All of this, right? Or all of the proposals that happen this time of year, right? Or think about this, all the songs that are on the airwaves this time of year. If you had to guess, what's the #1 downloaded Christmas song for many years in a row now? Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas, right? I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath. More than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. Sing it with me. All I want for Christmas is you. All right, yeah, very good. That was really, I think we found our choir right here. Beautiful. What is that song? It's a love song. The #1 Christmas song for decades now is a love song. All I want for Christmas is you. Who is actually singing that song? That is actually Jesus. That's who's singing that song. And he's looking at you. All I want for Christmas is you. Now, what is going on in the culture? What's going on in the airwaves? What's going on in the movies and the music? Like, is the culture just drumming up emotions, or have they tapped into something real? I would argue they have tapped into something real, the big story that I'm talking about. Let me make some connections, friends. Think about this, right? Jesus, in his very person, we say it in the Creed every Sunday, he's God from God, light from light, true God from true God. In his very person, he's the marriage of humanity and divinity. He's not part God and part man. He's true God, true man. He's the marriage of heaven and earth in his very person. His very first miracle was at the wedding feast of Cana. And what did he do? He miraculously multiplies the wine. He provides the wine for the wedding feast, which was, in the ancient world, it was the job of the bridegroom to provide the wine for his wedding feast. At the very culmination of his life, Jesus from the cross, he cries out, consummatum est, in St. Jerome's translation of the Latin. Consummatum est. It is consummated. What is consummated? The marriage of heaven and earth. That Jesus, the bridegroom, came to this earth in the flesh, not to wag a finger at humanity and to scold you and to say, get your act together, try harder. He became flesh to love you into eternity through an embrace. We are not saved by a legal declaration of his hand waving it over humanity. We are saved by an embrace, by letting ourselves be loved by the bridegroom. Friends, God created our humanity in the beginning, our masculinity, our femininity, marriage from the beginning to be this sign, this great sign that reveals these mysteries. He's not just interested merely in a personal relationship, as wonderful as personal relationships are. Over and over and over again, in his ministry, he identifies himself as the bridegroom, the church as his bride. I want a spousal-like relationship with you where I am implicated and everything is yours and you are united to everything that is mine. I want to give you everything. I don't want to hold anything back. That's the heart of the God that we have. He holds nothing back. Everything is poured out. Everything is given away. And he knows, though, that this kind of intimacy, this kind of relationship, this depth, it scares us. So what does he do? He shows up in utter vulnerability as an infant, so as to not scare us, so as to woo us, right? The Lord, he leaves the throne room of heaven, emptying himself of every divine prerogative to take to himself our fragile human nature in order to take us by the hand and bring us home. And friends, this is where all of this gets personal for us tonight. Because honestly, like, if it doesn't get personal, what's the point? What are we doing here? God, the only God there is, who robed himself in our human flesh and frailty, who puts himself in our grasp 2,000 years ago in Bethlehem, he's still coming to us tonight. Like in the Eucharist that's going to be given from this altar, that little host of bread, that little apparently nothing crumb. It's so easy to overlook a communion host. It looks just like nothing. Just as it was easy to overlook a baby lying in a manger 2,000 years ago. What is that baby? He's just a baby. What is that? It's just a little disc of bread. But what if the same God who hid himself in shocking vulnerability, shocking weakness, shocking littleness, what if he continues to do that? And he puts himself in your grasp because he wants to be that close. He wants to be that close. Look, friends, I don't know what this past year has been like for you. I don't know what you've struggled with. I don't know what you brought here tonight. I don't know what you're carrying. But I know this: the God who preferred the humble lodgings of the stable, filled with all sorts of domesticated aromas, just use your imagination, he isn't scandalized by what you're bringing here tonight. Please listen. Jesus Christ knows every inch and ounce of your heart and your humanity and your story. And he's not scandalized. He loves you. And he wants you. He prefers you. He desires you. He's chosen you. He only has eyes for you. Like, we're all hungry and desperate for love, every single one of us. A lot of us spend a lifetime burying it and running from it and choosing to find all sorts of other counterfeits and other ways to fulfill our hearts. But friends, the love that hung the stars is interested in you. The love that you're looking for is looking for you tonight. Enter into this Mass like you've never done before. Let your heart be docile and open. Lord, I don't even know how to do what this priest is saying, but I want that. I want your love to be that real for me tonight. That's why we sing Joy to the World. Merry Christmas.